Hello, UWGB students and faculty, and welcome to Curiosity by CAHSS. Before we get started, just excuse me for just a second. I need to ask my friend Ryan here something. Ryan, did you try any of my pumpkin spice cookies that I left on the counter in Mac Hall this morning?
Pumpkin spice cookies?
Yeah, pumpkin spice cookies. They're awesome. I made them homemade. Did you have one?
I wouldn't eat a pumpkin spice cookie because I don't really like pumpkin things.
Huh. Okay, well, how's your morning been? What have you done today so far?
Well, I had to come into campus to grab some books, so I got up early around 6 and I drove to campus and I went for a run on the Arboretum Trail. Then I stopped into the office. Oh, before I went into the office, I had a bagel with garlic and chive cream cheese on it. Then I went into the office. On my way in there, I realized I have like no time to spare because I have a Zoom meeting in like 35 minutes and I need to take it on my computer at home. So into the office real quick, grab the books, back out to the car, and now I'm home again.
That's weird, Ryan, because I'm pretty sure you were the only one besides me and Mac Hall this morning, and the entire plate of pumpkin spice cookies is gone. Are you sure you didn't eat any?
What? I wouldn't eat a whole plate of pumpkin spice cookies. I don't even really care about sweets anyway.
Okay, so this little conversation that my friend Ryan and I just had was peppered with a whole pack of lies. And I'm going to tell you how I know that. And the reason I know that is because I'm using a method called SVA, which stands for Statement Validity Analysis. And it's a forensic linguistics technique used by Homeland Security and other law enforcement entities to investigate people's statements for whether they're lying or telling the truth. And it's also really, really useful in real life when you think someone might be lying to you. So I'm going, and it actually uses grammar. The grammar are like the little tells that clues you into the fact that someone is lying. So I'm going to ask Ryan to share the little script that we just, of our conversation, and I'm going to show you how I knew that he was lying. Okay, so my first question is whether I'm asking Ryan if he ate a pumpkin spice cookie. And he answers by saying, pumpkin spice cookies? All right, that's a red flag. Answering a question with a question is always a sign of evasion because it's like an attempt to buy time for the liar to sort of collect his or her thoughts of what the story is going to be. So I say, yeah, they're awesome. I made them. Did you have one? And Ryan says, I wouldn't eat a pumpkin spice cookie because I don't really like pumpkin things. All right, two big tells there. The first one is what we call a non-denial denial. You notice he didn't say, no, I didn't eat a pumpkin spice cookie. He said, I wouldn't eat a pumpkin spice cookie, which sounds similar, but in forensic linguistics is actually usually the exact opposite. So non-denial denial, that's a red flag. And then the next red flag is the word really, which is called a qualifying word. And we do that sort of subconsciously to soften the lie into something more truthy. So if you say to someone, hey, have you seen so-and-so lately? And that person says, oh no, I don't really keep in touch with him. That probably means that they do. Okay, so we continue. So I say, how's your morning been? What have you done? And Ryan goes through this whole little discussion of what he's done. And there's a few things in here that really jump out to me. So you notice when he first starts talking, he's using the word I, and he's talking in straight past tense. Those are both signs of telling the truth. So those first things he says, I got up, I came into campus because I had to grab some books, I went for a run. That's probably all true. He's using personal pronouns and it's past tense. The other thing that indicates people telling the truth is if they move through a story in straight chronological order. Once that gets disrupted, there's probably a lie. So you can see Ryan stops himself and says, oh, after he went into the office, he stops himself and says, oh, before I went into the office, I had a bagel with garlic and chive cream cheese on it, which is probably because he realizes, oh, I need to make up a story that makes it seem like I did not eat the pumpkin and spice cookies. And the reason the chronology matters is because when we are speaking from memory, we're actually going through the scenes in our head. So we're going to tell it in straight order. Once we start looping back and messing up the chronology, that tends to be fictional. That tends to be made up. Okay, the other tell there is too much detail. I don't really need to know if Ryan had cream cheese, let alone garlic and chive cream cheese. Like that's sort of the you're trying too hard part of looking for a lie. The next thing that jumped out at me is he switched from past tense to present tense right at the word realize that you see is highlighted. Also a sign of making things up. When people are telling the truth, they tend to speak in straight past tense. Again, too much detail, like 35 minutes. Okay, well, if you're just rough estimating when you say about a half hour, like in 35 minutes, there's a clash there. And then the last thing is dropping personal pronouns. At the beginning, he was saying, I did this, I did that, I had to do that. That last section, so into the office, grab the books, back out to the car, because really he was eating the pumpkin spice cookies. And he doesn't want to admit that, but our interior brains actually don't like to lie. So we do these little subconscious things like dropping personal pronouns. And then to finish it off, we again have answering a question with a question, stalling technique, a non-denial denial. I wouldn't eat a whole plate of pumpkin spice cookies. And then again, that qualifying word. I don't even really care about sweets anyway, which means he does care about sweets a little bit. So it obviously gets much more complicated than that, but in a few minutes, that's sort of how you can apply forensic linguistics to catch people in their lies.